Hey guys, and welcome to episode 15 of our Road to Glory. And this episode, it's gonna be something a little different. Usually this would be like a Foot Champs, I guess, highlights video. But this weekend servers were horrendous. We got 2 DCs, 2 disconnects from games we were winning. One of them 2-0 and one of them 3-1. And it was just, all the servers were laggy, the gameplay was laggy, very slow. It was just really frustrating to play. And in the ending, I just got really tilted and I sort of deleted all the clips of the previous couple wins. So if I'm not going to show you everything, I'm just, not going to show you guys at all. But in the end, we played up to Silver 1 because I just wanted the 2K just to get, so I don't have to do it again during the week to get those points to qualify again. And I just couldn't be bothered to play until Gold 4. Gold 3. Because it was just honestly just really, really frustrating and just very tilting. We took a lot of, rage L's from especially the games after this disconnects. My head wasn't in it this weekend. So yeah, we're just gonna move on from it and pretend it didn't happen. Silver, we hit silver. Is it silver 3? Does it go 1, 2, 3? No, silver 1. Silver 1. So we got the 2K points. That's all that matters. It's a decent weekend league. That being said, we did a bunch of the objectives. We finished the MLS ones. So we got all 3 MLS players. Being quite decent. I played with Long and Lima, so the left back and the center back. Long is quite good, especially during the objectives, and Lima seems like a really good player. It reminds me of Mendy a bit. Maybe a little, I don't know, passes a little weaker and obviously he doesn't have the skill moves, but otherwise he's a quite decent left back, so I might consider using him if I one day decide to sell Mendy. That being said, we bought De Bruyne for this weekend league, and maybe I don't know if it was the server, if it was fair of me to say that he was not very good for me because of what happened with the weekend league, but I just didn't like him. He just seemed too big on the ball. I don't know, he just wasn't. I needed another striker essentially because I needed Son to play off a striker. So after a couple, I think 8-9 games, I decided to stop because I was down. I was 1 win in 8. It was terrible. I honestly thought I wasn't gonna win anything during the weekend league, and my head was out of the game. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sell KDB. I'm going to keep C-Maxim because he's actually quite good. And we unlocked the Lacazette storyline for level 30 of the season's experience type of branch thing. So we ended up putting him into the squad, and he's honestly really good. I really enjoy him as a target man. Really good at playing it off 1-2 with Son. He's not that fast, but if he gets somewhat of a shooting opportunity, he will finish. His shooting is really good. We also finished the League 1 player Mollet. The French Zidane, some people would like to call him. I don't really know why because he's already French, but yeah, anyways, besides that, really good player. Honestly, comes on as a super sub a couple times. Quite good, and I might, potentially build a team around him. This leads me to my next point. I'm thinking about potentially changing up. With the amount of pulls that we got that were pretty good, we have about, I think, 1.5 mil or essentially between 1.3 and 1.5 mil. And I want to buy Mbappe. I'm thinking about rechanging my whole entire squad, playing with these untradables for now, so Malay, Lacazette, French, works perfectly fine, Mukiele's French, and potentially play with Denier in the French league, because we also finished him as an SBC, honestly, really, really strong card, and maybe throw in the MLS players at the back, so completely changing up the squad a bit to make it more fun, and just get a different experience, and I just really want to play with Mbappe, because he's absolutely cracked in this game. So yeah, that's essentially potentially future episode, potential future change, where our team's heading next. So you guys make sure you guys stay tuned in and see where our team goes from that. We also finished a bunch of different SBCs. First of all we did the silver Arca 4 objective, another silver card to put into the squad. We did marquee matchups. We started the Kunde objectives, which is similar to the MLS one, but this time it's a road to the final player, which is really good because Sevilla is essentially going to go through in their group. They're pretty safe from the other 2 teams who both have 1 point. So I think Sevilla will go through, so it's probably going to be a free upgrade in maybe 2 weeks. So it could be a decent player to pair up against Varane later on. We never know. So we don't know where our squad's really going. Next thing we also did was we did a bunch of these road to the final packs. Not really worth it, I think. Don't bother wasting it's just club drainers. They're not worth it. They're going to give you a couple players, 2-player packs. Whether it's the UCL version or the 81 plus, I don't think it's necessarily worth it. So I would probably stray away from them. I did a couple just for the video, but yeah, nothing good out of it. We also tried a bit of an investment. We bought 3 Lucas at, I think, around 42k. When he was dropping like crazy. Before this, he was around 52 before the promo. He dropped to 42. I decided to invest in him. He went up to 44, and back down to 42. I sold at 42, so essentially I lost maybe like a K or two on them, but I'm pretty happy because now he's down to like around 30 at time of the recording. So good, I guess good ideas. Like gold cards probably like starting to fall now. Not really worth it because Sun's also down to like 130 or something. Like it's pretty bad for the gold market. So I'm probably gonna, if I invest, it might just be like in forms of special cards who are just out of pack, because those will be at least stable. Like I'm liking the ones to watch investments, which we do invest one big player at the end. You guys will see. I'll talk about investments in a bit. So moving on from that, what did we do? We essentially played foot champs this weekend. Was the only real thing we did. I think, if I'm looking at the records I have right now, up to like game number 20, we were around, I think, about 8 to 9 wins only. Like it wasn't that great. Essentially, like the first 10, we lost, I think 8, 1, 2. And then the next set of 10, we essentially caught up everything. We won like 7 out of 10. So we did really well. Essentially, I really had to take the day off. I played all the games on Friday. Servers were atrocious. I stopped Saturday just to get my head off it, like mind out of everything. And then I played today, so Sunday, at the time of editing. And I finished all the games to get to Silver 1. So yes, essentially that was my weekend. Not great, but honestly, hey, you know, whatever happens. You know, you can't always expect a good weekend league because, you know, server issues or just, you know, unlucky and all that. But yeah, so it was really unfair. We got disconnected in a few games and it was just like not worth playing. It almost made me want to stop this road to glory. Like that was just how bad it was. But you know, in the end I composed myself and I'm like, you know, this is still something I really like doing. Like I get that it's not gonna, you know, be a living for me, or like I'm not gonna get like crazy amount of views and all that, but I don't really care because personally it's something that I like doing on the side. It's just, I guess, a passion of mine, so I'm honestly really happy to keep this going. So for this video, we essentially got rid of the highlights. We talked about everything we did essentially last week. So this was supposed to be the, I guess, the episode 16 in theory, so the one that was supposed to come during the week. But we decided to skip that, and I'm just going to do a separate video for like whatever objectives or like milestones or anything like SBCs that come up during Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, plus rewards on Thursday. That'll probably be another episode. And then hopefully if we get decent gameplay, then I will definitely put in another highlights video, because that's one of my favorite ones, because it helps me like also review my game afterwards to see where I like mess up or how to improve my play. Which I recommend you guys doing. If you guys have some software that can record gameplay, definitely do it, or like a capture card. Do it, because then you can, you know, review your game, see what like you're messing up, how you concede goals. Because I've realized like a lot of times I'm terrible at defending, but like I don't know, like I commit too much with my CDM until it's too late to switch to my center back, and sometimes I just switch too early to my center back. So I gotta find like the just middle, and yeah, it takes a lot of games to essentially really like learn how to play, how to improve your playstyle. But as long as you have it like in the back of the mind, then you know you'll improve on it. Now another important thing I want to bring up is investing. So what I was looking at a couple market trends both on Footbin and Footbin Tracker. That's how I keep track of all my profits. And essentially we're like doing pretty well right now, because obviously the Partey and the Nelson Semedo and who else is there that we got pretty good deals on. Mendy, like everything's essentially giving us like 30k on Mendy, about 100k on Partey, and who's the other person I just mentioned. But anyways, besides that, like we're doing well. Like I keep Footbin Tracker as a way to like making sure I know what I'm doing. I didn't do that much trading from episodes, I think, 8 onwards until now. So I'm trying to bring a little bit of it back now, because I'm trying to essentially build a big enough bank before Black Friday, because that's going to be a huge market crash and everything's going to decline from there. And that's probably going to happen around, I think, 23rd, 22nd. People are going to want to do it, like sell everything beforehand. So we got to be careful and make sure you sell before that. That being said, we have a couple weeks to essentially build a lot of bank. So I was looking around at the market and I realized that this road to the final like created a lot of supply, because everybody was saving packs for it. So market prices have dropped significantly. A couple of them have recovered, but a lot of SBC fodder is still really, really low. So what I did was I invested in 66 different Sirigus. You're probably going to say this is nuts, but Sirigu fluctuates between 2.3 to about 2.8 to 3.2 even, depending on if he's in his SBC like solution. I picked up 66 of him at 2k. If they sell around 2.8 or 3.2 as in like SBC solution, that's 66k like profit, which is really, I mean, good. Like it's pretty like, you know, risk free, because you know he won't ever drop below 2k because he's 84 rated. He'll always be like worthy of SBCs. So I think it's a pretty safe investment. So I literally blew my budget on that. 50k, like I spent about, I think, 120k on that, just 66 different Sirigus, and I think it's a really good investment, which I recommend you guys doing, picking up cheap SBC fodder. I also bought a one to watch Bale, because he's going to be playing for his name. So Wales, and I think that's when he shines the most. So he's probably going to get, you know, an informer or two, hopefully. And he's also coming up against Manchester City. So I picked up a really cheap bargain. He's around usually 230. I picked him up at 212. So this hopefully works. It's just an insight on how I do trading. You know, I want to be transparent with you guys. So you guys make sure you guys start looking at a couple SBC folders. It's really beneficial right now, and I think it's a great time to buy a couple cards right at this moment. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll keep you guys updated with how everything goes, how the trading goes, SBCs and all that throughout the week. And yeah, everybody stay safe. A lot of love for everybody out there. Peace.